Good afternoon, Kitchissippi. It is Friday, July the 4th. This is a video version of the 444th Kitchissippi Weekly Ward Newsletter. There is lots more information about all the topics that we'll discuss in the weekly email newsletter, to which you can subscribe at kitchissippiward.ca. It is summer. Things are starting to slow down at City Hall, and my staff and I will be taking vacations at various times over the next couple of weeks. Personally, I'll be taking vacation from July the 28th until August the 22nd. For a portion of that, we're going to be road tripping, and I'm going to be on what I believe they call the Trans-Labrador Highway, and I expect to be out of reach during that portion. I'll be slow to get back to emails. For all of your day-to-day issues, of course, please continue to use 311. And next week, I'm looking forward to attending the Canadian Institute of Planners Action 2025 conference in Toronto. I expect to be slow to respond to any but the most urgent emails. I'll be hosting pop-up office hours on July the 15th from 1 until 4 p.m. at the Champlain Park. If it's raining significantly, look for me inside the field house. Pop-up office hours are a chance to come by anytime during those advertised hours without appointment to chat with me one-on-one about whatever is on your mind. Last week in the newsletter, I pointed to a 28-story tower that is proposed for 1657 Carling and 386 Tilbury. We've now arranged for an open house for that to take a look at the application. That's going to be hosted on Wednesday, July the 16th at 7 p.m. It will be virtual online using Zoom in a webinar format. There is information about how to register for that webinar in the newsletter at the link that I provided. The Committee of Adjustment will be meeting a couple of times over July. On July the 9th, there are 2 applications on their agenda. At 673 Tweedsmuir, the owner has applied to subdivide the property into 2 separate parcels of land for the construction of 2 long semis, each with additional dwelling units. City staff have now weighed in from the planning department, and they have expressed no concerns with that application. And at 200 Clearview, that is the infill tower that's going to be sort of around Lanark and Clearview, filling in a parking lot that's being used by the other towers on the site right now. They've applied for variances associated with some of the internal driveway and roadway configurations. Again, city staff have now weighed in, and they have expressed no concerns with the application. I have the agenda for the July 23rd meeting of the Committee of Adjustment now. At 305 Clare, the owners are seeking permission for the construction of a 2-story addition with a reduced interior side yard setback and a garage not being set back from the front entrance. And at 432 and 436 Ravenhill, the owner is seeking permission to subdivide the property into 2 separate parcels of land for 4 new townhouse dwellings with reduced rear yard soft landscaping and lot area. The existing semi-detached dwelling that is on the site would remain. You can find out all the details about those applications for variances, severances through the links that I provided in the newsletter. In the community, the Hintonburg 5K and Kids 1K is coming up fast. That's going to be held on July the 13th. They do still need a lot of course marshals in order to be able to run the race safely. That race can't run if any of the intersections are not supervised. There are a lot of intersections that need to be supervised. I know from having done this for many years how difficult it is to get people to volunteer. I know that the organizers are probably starting to sweat having sufficient volunteers on the site. It always works out, but if you can help supervise, usually it's between about 8 to 10 on that Sunday morning, please write to hintonburg5k@gmail.com and volunteer to marshal an intersection. The Company of Fools is going to be in Champlain Park on July the 19th. They're going to be presenting the Comedy of Errors. That will be at 7 p.m. I provided a link in the newsletter to the full tour and the performance information as well for that performance of the Comedy of Errors in Champlain Park on July the 19th. The Kitchissippi Winter Trail is looking for volunteer board members. They have a number of board members at large that they need to fill, and they're also looking for a volunteer business sponsor coordinator. Board service is a great way to give back to your community. Please take a look at the advertisement that I have in the newsletter and get in touch with the Kitchissippi Winter Trail. It brings thousands of us right across the city so much joy, and this is an opportunity to give back. At City Hall, it is starting to get slow. The Built Heritage Committee is going to meet on July the 8th. Top of mind for those of us who are in Kitchissippi will be the report on the feasibility assessment for a heritage conservation district for Island Park Drive. The residents of Island Park Drive, with my support, asked city staff to take a look at whether this corridor, where I'm standing today, could be a heritage conservation district. City staff have done the research. Thank you very much to all of the residents who helped them do that and determined that yes, it would be feasible to create a heritage conservation district for Island Park Drive. If the committee passes the staff recommendation, staff would go away and create that heritage conservation district plan for council's approval. In addition to that Island Park item, the committee is going to consider an alteration proposed for 168 and 174 Murray, and the potential designation with heritage protection of 410, 412 Besserer. You can see the full agenda for the Heritage Committee through the link to which that I have provided in the newsletter. Otherwise, in the newsletter, I have all of the most recent Rosemount Library programming updates. They've got lots of stuff going on in the summer, particularly for kids, so check out that list. Kitchissippi, I hope you're enjoying a beautiful summer thus far. Thank you for watching.